This shot, again, will be really useful because this is the one where I have the man hidden around the corner, and I'm going to have him animated walking across the camera. And I'll also showcase this fabric animation somewhere in here as well. So I'm going to jump into this camera translate, and the first thing I'm going to do is extend out this bar and make sure I'm working towards where this, you see this extra red bar here is indicating where on my master sequence this shot is pulled to. So I just want to make sure that my cut track goes all the way to the end of that, and that I'm designing for the full master sequence. What I'm going to do here now is just, first things first, just going to animate a really simple camera movement. So I just keyframed it at the beginning. I'll move it over to the right, and I will have the automatic keyframes on, so now this camera is just slowly moving to the right. In the camera settings, I'm just going to increase the focal length. So here is the simple camera motion from the scene, and now I want the character to be animated walking. So to do so, what I have to do is I need to find this character asset and bring them into this sequence. He's in the sequence, but he still won't be animated until I click this plus animation, and I want to add his walking animation. It adds it at the frame I was initially, so I want to go through and move it to the beginning. To loop this animation, I can actually just extend it out, and now it will play looping for this entire duration. But you'll notice that he is still in his same position, so I actually need to go and animate his position as well. So at this location, or at this time, I'll keyframe him in this location. And here at the end, I'm going to select him and move him to, say, here, and keyframe his location again. And this is where we'll need to, for this kind of motion, it's going to be really key to go into his animation curves, and we're going to definitely want his curve to be interpolated linearly so that there's no acceleration in his walking. It'll make it feel kind of weird if he has acceleration in his walk. So now if we hit play, he has a constant speed. You'll notice it feels maybe a little bit off from his current walking pace. Oh, well, I didn't change the right camera, so, or the right asset to linearly interpolated. So I want to make sure that his walking animation is linearly interpolated, and I'm going to actually, from this frame, I'm going to increase the distance he's walking to this column, and I'm just going to keyframe that again just to get the feeling of the animation to be closer. So now you'll see that the distance I'm having him travel feels about right for his feet. Where I changed his keyframe distance, it re-altered the interpolation, so I need to just make sure that's set to linear, and it will fix his acceleration. To get the fabric animation to play, what you need to do, or any animation that's done in this same kind of alembic format that isn't just a skeletal mesh where you can add the animation track, what you need to do is you add the component, right? So I'm going to add this fabric demo component to the sequencer, and you need to hit track geometry cache. Once you've done that, you'll see it has added a similar animation track to the walking track to the sequencer, and when you hit play, now you will find that it is playing your animation that you have brought in. So I'm just going to hit save. I'm going to save out this sequence. And let's see what we have so far. This is a pretty eclectic and all over the place shot. So please, again, do not do what I do. As I'm watching through this sequence that I have created, there are many things that I am noticing that need a lot of work. Definitely these shots feel too long, and so 3 shots is probably not enough, and I would want to go through and create a few more shorter shots rather than having these 3 super long clips. So I encourage you to use this as an editing tool and consider the lengths of these different shots. Even as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself of all the things I would change if I was to really invest the design time on this, but I actually need to edit these videos, so I am not going to devote as much time to the specific videos that I am creating. I will change, though, on this sequence. I'm noticing the focal length on the camera is too high,